You know that feeling, right? Payday hits. For like a day or two, your bank account looks healthy. You feel like you've got this adulting thing figured out. But then, bam, the rent hits, car insurance, groceries, that student loan, and just like that, you're back to watching your account balance like a hawk, just praying it survives until the next paycheck. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, well, you're definitely not alone. So let's get into it. Get this. 67%, according to a 2025 PNC Bank survey, that's how many American workers say they're living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's 2 out of every 3 people you know. So the big thing to get right here is that this is not some personal failing, okay? It's a huge, widespread reality for so many of us. And this isn't just about people with low incomes. This hits everybody. We're talking people making 60 grand, 80 grand, even well into the 6 figures. It's not a poverty problem, it's a system problem. So today, we're going to break down that system, and more importantly, we're going to break out of it. All right, so first, we've got to understand why this is even happening. We need to look at the real math, the numbers they don't exactly highlight when you get that exciting job offer. Let's take what looks like a totally comfortable salary and see where the money actually goes. Okay, so you land a job that pays $60,000 a year. Awesome, right? You do the math in your head. That's $5 grand a month. But here's the catch. That is not what hits your bank account, not even close. After federal taxes, FICA, that's for Social Security and Medicare, and then your state income tax, your actual take-home pay is suddenly closer to $4,000. That's a 20% cut right off the top before you've paid for a single thing. So where does that $4,000 go? Well, if we look at data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics for a single person, you can see how fast it disappears. The average rent? $1,600. Transportation? Over $750. Then you've got food, healthcare, utilities. It just piles up, and it piles up incredibly fast. And this is the moment where the math just completely falls apart. You add up all those basic, non-luxury expenses, and you get $4,145. But wait, your take-home pay was only $4,000. You're already $145 in the hole. And that's before you've bought a single cup of coffee, gone out for a friend's birthday, or had one single unexpected expense pop up. I mean, it's basically a setup for failure. And this right here is probably the most important thing to understand. You are not bad with money. This isn't a discipline problem. It is a straight-up arithmetic problem, where for most people, the money going out is designed to be more than the money coming in. So the big question is, how do we fix it? Well, the good news is there is a way out. We're going to walk through a simple but really powerful framework to break the cycle for good. It's a 3-step escape plan that actually works. And it's really easy to remember. See it, stop it, and shift it. First, we're going to get painfully honest about the numbers. Then, we're going to find and plug all those little hidden leaks that are draining your account. And finally, we're going to flip the whole system on its head so it starts working for us, not against us. Okay, step 1, see it. You can't fix a problem you can't see, right? So the very first thing you have to do is a spending audit. I mean it. Pull up your last 30 days of bank statements, your credit card statements, and categorize every single dollar. You need to know where your money is truly going. You're going to sort everything into these 4 buckets. Now, pay close attention to that last one, invisible leaks. This is where the magic really happens. Almost everyone who does this for the first time finds somewhere between $200 and $400 a month in forgotten subscriptions, weird fees, and impulse buys that they can just get rid of. Money you won't even miss, I promise. All right, once you can see where the money's going, it's time for step 2. Stop it. We're going to stop the bleeding. There are 4 major drains that are sneakily pulling money out of your account, and we're going to plug them up one by one. First up, we're fighting lifestyle creep. You know what this is? You get a raise, and suddenly your spending just expands to match it. The rule to fight this is so simple. Next time you get a raise, automate 50% of that new money straight into savings or debt paydown. You'll never even get used to having it. Second, do a ruthless subscription audit. Be honest. If you haven't used a service in a month, cancel it. You can always sign back up later. Third, you gotta escape the minimum payment trap. Paying just the minimum on credit cards is how they keep you on the hook forever. And fourth, avoid the emergency trap. Just building a tiny $500 emergency fund can turn a flat tire into a simple inconvenience instead of a financial disaster that adds to your credit card debt. And now for step 3. And honestly, this is the most critical step of all. This is where we completely flip the script.
See, most of us try to save whatever's left over at the end of the month, but as we've already seen, there's usually nothing left. We are going to change that right now.
The secret weapon here is a concept called pay yourself first. It's exactly what it sounds like. The very day your paycheck lands in your account, an automatic transfer whisks a set amount of money over to your savings account. It happens before you can even think about spending it. This completely removes willpower from the equation. Even if you can only start with $50, the automation is the key.
So you might be wondering, do these little changes really add up? Does it actually make a difference? Oh yeah. Let's look at the incredible long-term impact of starting this today.
Just look at this. We have two people, both making the same 60K salary. Person A does nothing, stays in the cycle, and 10 years later, their net worth is still basically zero. But person B, they automate just $150 a month. That's money they probably found in those invisible leaks we talked about. After 10 years, assuming a pretty standard 7% return on their investments, they have around $34,000. Same salary, folks. Radically different results.
And that's really the whole point. The goal isn't to become some perfect, hyper-disciplined money robot. No way. The goal is to make the right choice the automatic choice. It's about setting up a system you only have to think about once, and then it just works for you in the background. That's how you finally close the gap. So I want you to really think about this for a second. For you, what's the single biggest thing draining your paycheck? Is it rent? The car payment? All those sneaky subscriptions? Just identifying that one main culprit is your first huge step toward taking back control.
Look, you're not behind because you're bad with money. You're where you are because the system is honestly designed to be this hard. But now you have a real framework to fight back. So if this explainer gave you some actual, actionable steps you can use, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for more practical guides to really move the needle on your finances. We'll see you next time.